YouTube modeling community. Welcome once again to another episode of Glue Bomb Restorations. Today I'm going to show you the beginning process of stripping paint. I'll warn you though, not every technique always works. I like to use, Castrol Super Clean or the generic version, Purple Power. And today I'll be using Purple Power. Now, it's not guaranteed to always work. It's excellent for stripping chrome off of parts, and in most cases it takes paint off, but it doesn't always take the paint off. And I've noticed on Facebook a lot of questions where people are saying, I've tried the Purple Pond, it's not working, what should I do? Well, there are many different other options, and one of them is using Easy Off oven cleaner in the yellow can. I don't have any of that because I won't use Easy Off oven cleaner. It's just too caustic, a little too hazardous, and not only if you get it on your skin, but even just breathing it in isn't very, very safe and healthy. And I just don't use it. If the Purple Power doesn't work, the Purple Pond doesn't work, I usually just rinse it off really good, do a good sanding and primer over it, because if it's on that good, might as well just leave it on and prime over it, and chances of it bleeding through a good primer, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to show you my process. It's very simple. It's not a hard process, and we'll let it soak for a day or two at the most. And if it doesn't strip it, then I'll just rinse it off really good, sand everything down, try to get the majority of the things out. But again, it's kind of a waste of time to buy a whole bunch of different products like Easy Off or brake fluid or any of that stuff, especially if you're talking about toxic things. And when you look at Purple Power or Castrol Super Clean, anything's toxic if you drink it, but it's biodegradable, and it really is non-toxic. You can actually let it go down the sink and not have to worry about harming the environment. So that's why I stick with the Purple Power or Castrol Super Clean. It's up to you if you want to try all the other chemicals. I prefer not to. Nothing that a little bit of elbow grease can't take care of, and you can save money too just by sanding it down. And again, if it's been on there that long, it's not like you have to sand it completely down to the plastic. You can leave what's on there, just get it good and smooth and pretty, and then primer over it and then go from there. That's what I would recommend if you can't get paint off using the Purple Pond. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Alright, here you can see the Dodge Monaco that I'm going to try to restore. I've cleaned it, I've even scrubbed it down, and using an SOS pad with soap, even the decals didn't come off that way. So it's kind of scary when you think about it, but the chances of this stripping is not very good. More than likely I'm going to have to sand all this. Now, the wonderful thing about using Purple Power is, or Castrol Super Clean, or as we call it, the Purple Pond, no matter which product you use because they're both purple, it doesn't harm any of the plastic whatsoever. It won't harm the clear lenses or anything like that. I tried to find a pair of gloves to put on, because even though it doesn't blister or anything, it is a degreaser, and it takes all the oil out of your hands. So when you use this, you want to try to keep it off your skin, because it'll dry your hands up in an instant. It'll take all the oil off your hands. But so this is the body, and what I do is you can buy these Rubbermaid containers like this really, really cheap, and that's what I use for these smaller kits. And you don't have to keep doing it over and over again, meaning that if you strip a kit in here, and you take the kit out, you can put the lid back on and save it to use for another time. You know, but my last batch, I had, you know, a good 1/4 of an inch of goo at the bottom of it from stripping so many models. I decided to go ahead and let that one go. And I just threw away the container. I suppose you could use it again, but I just threw it away, and I had a few more of these laying around. And you can see here, this is the generic version of Castor All Super Clean. The formula is, in my opinion, really close to Castor All. I really haven't noticed too much difference in the two, except for it seems to me that the Castor All Super Clean works faster and is a little bit stronger. But if you have patience, this is just as good, you know, and it is a few dollars cheaper. In fact, I took a picture with my cell phone at Wally World of this product and Castor All Super Clean on the shelf with their prices, and I'll go ahead and, you know, wedge that in on this video here, so you could check out that picture and know what products we're looking for. So they do sell this at Walmart as well as Castor All Super Clean, but you can also find it in a lot of your auto parts stores. So, you know, you take the lid off, obviously, and be careful pouring this. You know, it's like anything. You don't want stuff everywhere. Now, I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence, but before I open it, I'll show you the wrong way to pour and the right way to pour. Okay? Anytime you have a jug of this shape, you don't want the wide part at the top. See, if you pour it this way, it's gonna, you know, glump. I don't know what you call it. It'll burp and it'll slosh everywhere. And you know, you don't want that. It's like if you changed oil in your car, don't hold your oil bottle like this. You know, either hold it like so, but unfortunately the handle will get in the way, or hold it like this, because all the liquid now, the majority of it, will be underneath your pour spout, and you can control it, and it'll breathe better, so you'll get a steady flow rather than it just glumping out. So, you know, not to insult your intelligence, but for all you young guys out there who doesn't have to change oil in your cars, don't pour it like this, because it'll make a mess. You want to pour it like so, with this end up high, the highest point, and just lightly tilt it. And little safety feature there. You could wear goggles for all this. You know, maybe you should. I'm not, but I have faith I'm not going to splash this in my eyes. So again, see how I have this? You know, I have it up, and I'm just going to very gently let it out. But, well, first let me put the kit in here. Oh, it almost doesn't fit. That might give me some issues. All right. So I put it in. I got it in upside down so I know I can get the roof and all that. You know, and everything's falling on. This kit's almost too big for the container. So, again, careful how you pour it. Go easy. You don't have to get crazy with it. I like to fill it to where all the plastic is covered. Pay attention to the model, because sometimes it likes to, let's see, I'm going too fast. I'm getting splashing. I don't want to splash and get this stuff anywhere. It's not going to hurt anything. You can just simply wipe it down with a paper towel. You'll be okay, but still don't want to make a mess. And by the way, this jug is a new jug. It's completely full. So just so that you realize that I'm not trying to, you know, show you how to do this with an empty container. I don't like to fill it all the way to the top. You know, I've got a pretty good space, a little less than an inch. Another trick is if you have a piece of junk plastic or something in your parts box, or a screw or a nail, to set in the middle of it, you know, to help it sink. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, actually I think it's as far down as it'll go. So I'm not going to worry about putting anything down on it, but what I will do is let it sit there, you know, put the lid over it. You can clamp it down if you want, but the kit's kind of bigger than the container. So I'm just going to leave it sitting. And then I'm going to give it, I don't know, 15 minutes, see if I'm lucky. An hour. Sometimes it takes a couple of days. But I'll give it another 15 minutes or so while I fiddle fart with something else and see how it comes out. And usually an old toothbrush is a valuable asset to scrubbing that off. And you know what's funny is I don't have a toothbrush down here. And does that not make a lot of sense? So anyway, until, you know, I pull that out, we'll see how it goes. All right, my friends. I'm actually surprised. I was really thinking that this car wouldn't strip very well in the purple pond. But actually it has. I have to admit, when I put it in here and I said I would take it out in a couple hours, I went up for supper and didn't come back down for a week. So the top part is cleared, and the bottom really isn't yet. It's soft, but you have to realize this part of it actually was not in the purple pond. You can see the level of where the liquid came to it, but because I had a lid on it, it sort of gassed it loose anyway. And you can see where the decals are just falling right off. And you know, I remember earlier saying that you can use the purple pond over and over again, but it's, you know, when you have decals and stuff coming off and getting into the mix here, after a while you get a sludge and you just change it out. But for the most part, you can use this over and over again. Using a soft bristle toothbrush is the best idea. Unfortunately, in my old age, I keep forgetting to bring my toothbrush down from the sink because I used it to, you know, clean all the rough stuff off. Don't get afraid about what it may do to the plastic. I've honestly have put a model in the purple pond and forgot about it for a year when things got busy and I couldn't come back to it. And then when I came back to strip something else, lo and behold, here's a 32 Ford Coupe that's been sitting in the purple pond for a year, and it never adversely affected the body, although it definitely was stripped.